are going to talk on angel investment, on venture capital funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneurs. So those who are going to become entrepreneurs, so it will be a good opportunity for you to interact. He's an expert in this field. So you are all of you are expected. You are welcome to interact with Mr. Sriraaman. So on behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, I would like to extend a hearty welcome, Mr. Sriraaman. So hearty welcome to you, sir, and thanks for all the support you are extending to the department. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome.
And I request Ms. Seena Simon to give a brief introduction about today's guest.
Okay, ma'am. So good afternoon all. The Mr.M.Sriraaman is chemical engineering graduate from Annamalai University. He is currently building social venture with BIRAC, Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, and KIT TBI Orissa. He is also the Senior Advisor of IAMUSAP Ventures Business Development Corporation. He has previous entrepreneurship development and incubation managerial experience at Annamalai Innovation and Incubation Research Foundation, EDII, Annamalai University. He is also acting as the honorary state president and director of All India Startup and Entrepreneur Association, and as a mentor of Startup India at Indian Ministry of Commerce and Industries. He is one of the investment connectors and founder of Laya PTE Limited Singapore, and he is the present curator of US-based Tech Stars Startup Digest community in Northeastern Tamil Nadu region. He is also forecasting innovations as a mentor of change for adult tinkering labs at Indian Ministry of Planning Commission and Global Council for Promotion of International Trade, USA. He has previous industrial experience at EID, Perry Sugar and Distilleries Unit. He also has experience as the principal investigator in a funded project of Institute of Engineers India. He has published 1 patent, 1 book chapter, and more than 15 research papers in the domain of food and environmental biotechnology. He has received Best Paper Award for one of his publications in 2019 and Best Team Leader Award for his leadership excellency in 2022 from All India Startup and Entrepreneur Association. He has worked in various research projects of Annamalai University, Institute of Technology Guwahati, CSIR, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, and CSIR, Northeastern Institute of Science and Technology. He is an active lifetime member of Scientific and Technical Research Association by the Startup Community, Annamalai Alumni Business Network, and Tamil Robotics Club. So on behalf of the management and Department of Civil Engineering, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome and introduction. Shall I start sharing my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Can you guys screen my full screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So good afternoon, students. Hope you all had lunch. Maybe some of you may be feeling drowsy. So let me take this session in an interactive manner. I will try to keep this session engaging as it is scheduled in the noon hours. So in this session today, we are going to see about the basics of startups and what is the thing you need to have to raise funds, and the thumb rules for investment analysis, basics of funding and stages of funding, and stages of startups, and finally sources of funding. So sources of funding is nothing about angel investor, venture capitalist, and also some of the early stage government funding agencies. So this will be the today's agenda. As it is an afternoon session, it will be better to start with an interaction activity. So here is a short warm-up activities. In my slides, there are two terminologies. One is entrepreneurship and startup. So I will be very happy if one of you come forward and make an attempt to answer this question. So you can share your views on these terminologies. You can express your understanding on these things, so that I can basically know your level of understanding and I can take the session forward. It will be very easy for me also.
Students, please.
Ma'am, I hope the students have the access to interact with me, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So it's a kind of hybrid session, I think. Students
Yes,
are
yes.
sitting physically, and I am.
Yes, we have made
interacting
some
with them
attempt, and let
virtually.
us see how it is working out. Students,
Okay.
please respond. Those who are going to become entrepreneurs, so you please you must have some idea about what is entrepreneurship and what is startup.
So all the students are from civil engineering background, or?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Only civil
Okay.
engineering students are
Okay,
attending now.
fine. Civil engineering, particularly from a single year or mixed
The
together?
third years and final years, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Can you please repeat your question, sir?
So in my slides, there are two terminologies. One is entrepreneurship and one is startup. So if one of you come forward and share your views on these terminologies, I can also give your inputs. Even if your answer may be wrong, that's not a matter, but make an attempt to interact with me, please.
What do you understand by the terminology entrepreneurship?
So you guys are in third year and fourth year. So many IIC programs will be organized earlier for you guys. Even in last time we had a session on, I think ideation. I think that too on a Sunday evening. So that
Yes,
was
sir.
my first session scheduled
Yes,
on
sir, yes,
Sunday.
sir.
I can never forget that Sunday evening around 6 o'clock.
Yes,
With
sir.
RMK college group of students. Yeah, last time we had a session on identifying ideas and problem statements, I hope. Even if your answer may be wrong, you no need to feel bad about it. I hope in our last session also, I have started my session with this same question. Usually I start all my sessions with this single warm-up activity, because this is a key for me to evaluate your level of understanding. If you are well-versed with these terminologies, I will not spend much time on establishing the big picture. I will directly enter into the core topic of today's session. So that's why I'm asking. Even you can answer in Tamil, that's not a matter for us, I think. Tamil is also okay for me.
Entrepreneurship is investing on idea. Startup means own idea, establishing own ideas.
Entrepreneurship is investing
On some business.
what?
On some business or idea.
Investing on some business or idea. Okay, fine. And startup?
Establishing own ideas, sir, with unique idea.
Own ideas. Okay, your good name, please.
Dhanalakshmi, sir.
Final year or third year?
Third year.
Okay, hats off, Dhanalakshmi, for making an attempt. But I need some more crisp and precise answers. Actually, your answer is not wrong. At the same time, I want some fine-tuned answers, some precise and crisp answers. So, any other answers apart from Ms. Dhanalakshmi's answer from you guys?
So whatever you think about entrepreneurship, you can just come out. It need not be the correct answer.
Yeah. As Ms. Dhanalakshmi told, actually her answer is somewhat correct. The for startup is somewhat correct. entrepreneurship has to be fine tuned. I will do that. I will add on my views also. So that's not a matter. Okay, any definition for entrepreneurship? Actually, Ms. Dhanalakshmi gave almost the right definition for startup. So we can make it up. That's not a matter. I need only one definition from you guys regarding this entrepreneurship terminology.
So maybe entrepreneurship is a long time or a large scale business, and startup is something which is small scale.
Regarding the time frame, both are large scale only. But anyway, thanks for making an attempt to answer. And your good name?
Shweta, sir.
Okay, Ms. Shweta. Thank you. First of all, hats off to Ms. Shweta and Lakshmi for making an attempt. We should encourage them, those guys. Any other definition for entrepreneurship alone? I'm somewhat satisfied with Ms. Dhanalakshmi's answer on startup. Okay, fine. So let me explain these terminologies first, and I also establish a difference between these two terminologies. First, we will see about the definition. Actually, entrepreneurship or entrepreneur is a person who takes risk to start his own venture with an innovative idea. So risk means calculative risk. And also this entrepreneurship is the word derived from Latin language, which means adventurer. Basically, adventurers loves to take risk, right? Likewise, these entrepreneurs are also loves to take risk. For what cause? For the cause of starting their own venture with an innovative idea. So this is the definition for entrepreneurship. And coming to startups are nothing but they are early stage companies selling innovative product or service, and they are much dependent on human potential rather than investment potential. So today's session is about fundraising, regarding fundraising through angel investors, venture capitalists, and other funding channels. You have to make a note of the startup terminologies definition. Again, I will repeat, startup is nothing but early stage companies selling innovative product or service. It may be a product or service, digital service, physical service, anything, but it should be innovative. And the startup is dependent much on human potential rather than investment or capital. So if you are having a good human potential and intellectual potential, intellectual means a good idea, you no need to worry about raising investment for your startup. Many channels are there in many stages. Even in your early stage, within this country, within this India, you can raise funding for your startup. So that is the major advantage of pursuing startup. Likewise, entrepreneurship also have some opportunities. It will be better if I'm able to distinguish the clear-cut difference between entrepreneurship and startup with a case study. So I will proceed further. So here is the difference between entrepreneurship and startup. There is a key difference only. It is a little difference only. Actually, entrepreneurship is adding little innovation in a conventional business. But startup is making a huge business out of a little or simple innovation with higher impact. So this is the key difference between entrepreneurship and startup. Let me explain this with a case study. Let's take the story of Tea Time. So everyone is aware of this brand nowadays, I think, because in every city we used to have around 6 to 7 franchise of this shop. So this Tea Time started as a petty shop in Rajamandri district of Andhra Pradesh. So they started their first outlet in Rajamandri railway station of Andhra Pradesh. They initially started as a small petty shop only. Actually, tea shop or a petty shop is not a innovative business. Actually, it's a conventional commercial business. What they did was they basically introduced authentic, unique, and novel Assam tea recipe in their petty shop or tea shop. So basically, they added little innovation into a conventional commercial business. So this is entrepreneurship. During their early days, they were entrepreneurs, and now they are a startup, and soon they are going to become an unicorn startup. How? They basically scaled that innovative, unique recipe as a brand called Desi Tea Time India Private Limited in 5+ states of southern India with around 6,000 plus outlets. So this is a good case study from the evolution of entrepreneurship to startup. Basically, they started as their career as an entrepreneur in a railway station. In a conventional commercial business, they introduce a novelty. Later, they scale that novelty into a conventional commercial business. So this is the key difference between entrepreneurship and startup. Before going into angel investment, venture capitalism, and all these type of funding schemes, you should be clear on the difference between entrepreneurship and startup. And now with this case study, I hope you guys are clear with these two terminologies. Shall we get into the session directly now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you need any more clarity, or shall we proceed further?
You shall proceed, sir.
Okay, great. Coming to the thumb rules, it is also very, very important. In case of angel investor, venture capitalist, other private funding agencies, crowdfunding agencies, and also government funding agencies, many funding sources are there for startups and entrepreneurs. We will see about it in our session. Among all these funding sources, there is a common thumb rule, which is called 80-20 golden ratio thumb rule, and a strategy for evaluation of an idea called 5-year-old kid strategy. So first we will start with 18-20 golden ratio thumb rule. Actually, this thumb rule speaks with the ratio between commercial aspect and technical aspect of an idea. Actually, you all are from technical background. To be frank, only 20% of technology will be evaluated in a startup pitching even by an investor. So remaining 80% weightage will be given only for the commercial aspect of your idea. So this is the 80-20 thumb rule, 80% on commercial aspects and only 20% on your technical aspect. So no one will ask you for PhD degree, or no one will ask you for PG degree. So entrepreneurship and startup is not anything associated with degree. Basically, as a UG graduate, you can pursue a startup with various funding schemes. Only 20% of technological part is enough. As an UG student, undergraduate student, you are already ready to face the 20% of the technological part in all the startups pitch. So don't need to worry about the technical part. But the thing is to be noted that you have to build your commercial aspects of your own venture. So that is the major thing to be noted. And that is not a tricky task also. For engineering students, you are doing differentiation, integration, and particularly civil engineers, you are dealing with solid mechanics, structural concrete design, like these kind of topics. Compared to that, this commercial aspect is nothing. It's very, very simple. And I will teach you to build your business model canvas at the last part of the session. That is not a tricky one. You can easily establish your 80% commercial part of your own venture. So this is the 80-20 thumb rule. And please remember this thumb rule always before starting your own venture. 80% weightage is only for technology and commercial aspects, and 20% is only for technology. Coming to the strategy for idea evaluation, there is a good strategy called 5-year-old kid strategy. So yeah, at this juncture, it will be great if some of you could share some of the raw and scratch stage ideas in your mind, so that we can do live evaluation, and then I can explain little bit with more clarity. So can any one of you unmute and can any one of you come forward and share your views on your own ideas? The idea may be in raw stage, the idea may be in scratch stage. That is not a matter, but please come forward and share the idea so that we can directly evaluate your idea with this 5-year-old kid strategy. I will explain what is this 5-year-old kid strategy is about.
Any one of you, please?
Any one is enough. Even more than one means it will be very good, but minimum one. One is mandatory.
You may have some idea, right?
So as this afternoon session, we should interact. If one-way communication is there, means at the end of the session you will be sleeping. So please cooperate. We will interact and then take the session forward together. Anyone?
Maybe they can prepare a different kinds of toys for kids.
You can prepare different kinds of
Toys.
Sorry, you are not audible. Can you please spell that terminology?
Toys.
Toys, sir. Toys.
Toys. Toys. Okay, fine. Your good name?
Likita, sir. Likita.
Different types of toys. So to be more precise, for who is your target audience?
Kids, sir. Sorry. Like below 8-year kids.
Kids. Okay, you are going to build toys. So what will be the actually manufacturing of toys is already commercially established. China is making a lot of toys. There is nothing novelty involved in it. But anyway, you come forward to answer. So I will appreciate you. To be more precise, is there any novelty part involved in your toy production? Do you have any novelty? Do you have any distinguishing factors with your competitors? China is manufacturing tons and tons of toys for kids at cheap prices. So basically, many problem statements are there in this toy industry. Most of the toys manufactured by China or toxic, as the end user is kid, they will not be aware of using the toys properly. So
Maybe toys can be used not only for playing, maybe for reading, making kids to learn something.
So learning toys, right? Edu toys,
Yes.
educational purpose toys. Okay, good. Actually, that is also commercially a successful venture already established. But anyway, it's somewhat precise. Actually, your novel idea is to manufacture educational purpose toys, right?
Learn while playing. That is a concept.
Okay, great. So I got your concept. Okay, good. And final year students is also sitting in this session, right? Final year students.
Sir, I am from final year.
Okay, it will be very great. So have you chosen your final year project? Academic project, curriculum project work?
No, sir, I'm still going through it.
Ma'am, have you allotted projects to your students, academic project or mini project work during their third year, like that, anything? Joyson sir, do the students have any mini project in the third year or any internship kind of thing? Do they have?
So only in 7th semester, now they are having the mini projects, sir.
Mini project, okay.
Yes.
So can any one of you explain your mini project title? I need title alone from any volunteer.
Mostly it will be a design project, sir. Design project, structural design project.
Okay, fine. It will be easy for me to distinguish between R&D projects and commercial projects if you explain your mini projects title. So I got one commercial project idea from one of your friend, manufacturing of educational purpose toys. So we will keep it in one side. That is a commercial venture. And also I will compare and explain it with an research driven venture. Any ideas on your mini project? Do you have any innovative mini project topic?
Sir,
Yes, please.
our mini project title is Net Zero Energy Building.
Net zero energy building. Okay, so now two ideas are there. One is a research focus and research driven idea, which is nothing but net zero energy building. That is one idea. And another one idea from one of your friend is that launching educational purpose toys. Let's take these two ideas and let's identify a 5-year-old kid. Assume if you are you are in age of 5. If we explain these two ideas to a 5-year-old kid, that 5-year-old kid will identify idea number 1, which is educational purpose toy, or the second, net zero energy building. which will be very easy for that 5-year-old kid to understand. So I want answers from you. If you are a 5-year-old kid and someone is explaining you these two ideas, one is regarding net zero energy building and then another is regarding what is that educational purpose toys, which idea will be very easy for that 5-year-old kid to understand?
Maybe educational toys concept.
Educational toys. So that is nothing but commercial venture. On the other hand, we have research driven venture. So likewise, investor will evaluate your idea with this 5-year-old kid strategy only. Basically, you no need to focus much on technological part. That is the broken factor, which is many people are not aware of it. You have to focus only 20% on your technological part, and remaining 80% should be about your commercial aspects. So this is the golden thumb rule for building your own startup. So without further delay, we will see the next part of session. And for all these fundraising, angel investors, venture capitalists, government fundraising, you all need to have an initial stages regarding ideation. That is an innovative idea which is feasible and which is able to create a huge impact upon implementation. With this idea, you will be easily able to generate funding through various government agencies, angel investors, and private venture capitalists. So after in my slide itself, I have highlighted two terminologies, an innovative idea, which is feasible. So feasibility is important, and also impact. Let's see how to carry out feasibility studies and also how to carry out impact studies. First, feasibility. Actually, feasibility is classified into technical feasibility and market feasibility. Technical feasibility can be easily done because 20% of technology is only involved in your commercial project. So that can be done with the support of your mentors and professors and R&D institution cells. So many are there to help you on your technical feasibility studies. Coming to market feasibility studies, you have to carry out your own market feasibility studies and no one can support you. Someone can guide you, but you have to carry out your market feasibility studies. And market feasibility studies is the need of the hour because 80% of your pitch, which means 80% of your presentation should be focused on your commercial aspects. So market feasibility is very, very important than technical feasibility. Technical feasibility can be done by anyone, but market feasibility has to be done only by you. So how can you carry out these market feasibility studies? You can build various survey forms, questionnaires, and you can interact with market. You can get their feedback before starting your research and development stage. And also after your research and development stage, you can give your products to your customers and you can get the feedback. You can compare both the feedback. Likewise, you can carry out market feasibility studies with the guidance of various technology business incubators. So many institutions are having technology business incubation centers. In your Chennai also, you have an Atal Incubation Center, which is funded by Ministry of Planning Commission in Anna University. And we have many good incubation centers in Chennai. So you can approach them to get guidance on carrying out these market feasibility studies. They can guide you, but remember, you have to carry out your market feasibility studies. No one will be able to carry out your market feasibility studies apart from you. Coming to the next part. So feasibility is done and feasibility evaluation is over, and coming to impact evaluation, let's see how can an idea create a huge impact. So an idea can create a huge impact when it is able to solve a huge problem. So I will suggest you guys to start with problem statement identification and not with novelty identification. So novelty can be matched later, that is not a matter, but problem statement identification is highly essential. So now we have a commercial venture idea in our hand, which is nothing but educational purpose toys. Actually, the problem statement in this toy industry is that China is actually manufacturing many toys in large quantity in tons and tons, and they are exporting throughout the world. So already this toy market is very big and huge. If you are entering into this toy market, means you should have an innovative idea. The level of innovation may be small, that is not a matter, but the innovation's impact should be very, very high. So in this case, I will suggest one problem statement in this toy industry. Basically, in Chinese toys market, they are using a component called lead. That lead is highly dangerous to kids while they are using. Basically, you can avoid the manufacturing, you can avoid usage of lead in your manufacturing process, and you can give kid friendly toys, toxic free toys to the kids. So likewise, first you have to identify the problem statement. So here the problem statement is lead, which is in toys, and the solution you are giving is lead free, that is toxic free toys. This is the innovation, and when you start identifying problem statement, automatically innovation comes. You no need to search for innovation. So I will suggest you guys to start with problem statement identification rather than novelty identification. So let me explain this with a case study also. In olden days, we used to have trunk suitcases, which were very heavy to carry. During World War period, army people used to carry this all the way because also it's very heavy. That is the major pain point behind this trunk suitcases. And later, people introduced some trolleys in public railway stations and also in bus stands to carry these suitcases. And later in 2000th century, American tourister filed a patent for this trolley suitcases, which is in the right side of my slide. And what is the innovation behind this trolley suitcase? Basically, they introduced 4 wheels in the bottom and 1 handle in the top. This is the level of innovation. There is no technology involved. Of course, some kind of engineering mechanics, stress and strain analysis is there, but not much technology part is involved. They have introduced simply 4 wheels in the bottom and 1 handle in the top. Here, the level of innovation is very low, but you have to see the impact it brought into the market. Now, I will say that all of you sitting in today's sessions will have this suitcase in your home. So that is the impact the suitcase brought into the market. So why you all are having this suitcase? Basically, it is easy to carry all the way. Many travel freaks, many business people, many celebrities, persons who used to travel, all are feeling comfortable with these type of suitcases because it's very easy to carry in all the throughout their journey. So that's why we all are using this suitcase. We all are adapted to this suitcase. That is nothing but impact analysis. So likewise, the level of innovation may be very small in your idea. That is not a matter, but the impact should be very huge. This is a wonderful case study for impact analysis. So far we saw what is a good idea, so how to identify idea, and also we saw about the thumb rule for investment analysis. And now we will see who can start a startup and get funding from various funding agencies such as angel investor and venture capitalist. Many have this doubt in mind whether a full-time UG or PG student can start their own venture or not. So to be frank, yes, you can start your own venture. You may be in UG, you may be in PG, PhD, you may be a postdoctoral fellow. You may be any student in any domain. You may be an MBA student or BCom student or a civil engineering student. Just a minute. Sorry for the disturbance. So you may be any student. That is not a matter, and also your domain is not a matter. You may be an arts and science student, civil engineering student. Any student can start your own venture, and you can parallelly pursue your studies also. That is your major advantage. Actually, the legal restriction is that you have to be above 18, and all you are in higher education, so definitely you will be above 18. Nowadays, even kids are starting their own business. So basically, they are starting their own business in back end because legally they cannot be in front end. They will start the business in their parents' name and they will be in back end and they will be supporting them. As students, as civil engineering students, you are always eligible to start your own venture. Students' days are the good days to start your own venture because you will not be having much responsibility apart from academic responsibility. Yes, of course, you have some laboratory, you have to submit lab record on time, you have internal exams, external exams, project work, viva voice, and also internships. But if you enter into real world, there are many challenges. You have to You are really answerable to many people. You have much responsibility. You have good social responsibility if you graduate and come to the society as a student. So you have many responsibility, family responsibilities there. But students days, you are all free from these responsibilities. So it's a good time. It's a right time for you to start your own venture. Persons who are sitting in third year, or it's really a good time for you to start your own venture. So please think about it. And also some faculty members is also sitting in the session. I think faculty members can also start their own venture in case if they are permitted by their employer. Most of the self-financing colleges, they will give approval for their faculty members to start their own venture as per National Innovation and Startup Policy 2020. In some government institutions, some standard operating procedures are not established still, but in IITs and IASC, premier government institutions have their own standard operating procedures for permitting their faculty members to pursue a startup journey. Actually, faculty members in self-financing colleges like RMK colleges are always lucky to start their own venture because there will not be much restrictions. Actually, the institution also gets many credits if they permit a faculty member to start their own venture, because during ARIA ranking from frameworks, NAC, NBA, and also Institution Innovation Council ranking frameworks, and all these frameworks, that advantage will be given for faculty members if they are pursuing startup. And personally, faculty members H index will also be boosted. Many advantages are there in the startup, faculty-led startups. So if you are a student, if you are a faculty member, you are definitely eligible to make use of this angel investor, venture capitalist, and also all the funding schemes. But one criteria is there. You cannot approach an angel investor or a venture capitalist or any government funding agency as an individual. And of course, few government grants you can apply as an individual. Most of the 90% of the government grants and 100% of the angel investor and 100% of the venture capitalists will ask you for company registration when you approach them. So you have to start a company on your name, you have to build a brand, and then you have to approach the angel investor or venture capitalist or government agency for fundraising. So company incorporation is very, very essential, and you don't need to worry much about those legal compliances behind those company incorporation. And even workshop is happening in next month on these company incorporation procedures. I will share the link in the last part of the session. So those things can be hired and get it done. And also you can do it on your own. Some modules are also there to enable you to do company incorporation on your own, but the time matters. If you have good amount of time, if you are a student, you may be having a good amount of time, so you can start your own company on your own. If you are a faculty member, already you are having many responsibilities in your institution, so you can basically hire some chartered accountants and get it done. Company incorporation is very, very essential before raising investment through angel investor or venture capitalist or through any other mode. So here are some stages of startup. So before approaching an angel investor or venture capitalist or a government funding agency, you should map your stage. Starting from ideation stage, which is the first stage, actually we call it as a technology readiness level chart. This technology readiness level chart is framed by National Aeronautical Space Research Organization. So it is also adapted by BIRAC, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistant Council. Many investors is also convenient with this technical readiness level chart. So you have to map your own stage before approaching any investor. So the first stage is ideation. So one of your friends shared idea on educational purpose choice. So she is in ideation stage. Apart from idea, she don't have anything. After identifying your idea, basically problem statement has to be identified. That problem statement gives you a good idea. And with the good idea, you can go for proof of concept development with the R&D cell of your institution. Basically, Institution Innovation Council and EDC cell will help you for ideation, and also R&D cell in your institution will help you for proof of concept development. For example, if you are developing a toxic-free, lead-free toy, means your institution's chemical department may be helping you on evaluating the toxicity study. So these kind of proof of concept should be established within your institution R&D cell. That is the second stage. Third stage is prototyping. Basically, you have to procure some equipment. You don't need to procure actually. Technology business incubators are always there. So as I told you earlier, in Chennai, you have Atal Incubation Center of Anna University. They have 3D printers. For basically manufacturing toys, you may need those 3D printers. You no need to buy those 3D printers. You can use the 3D printers available in your maybe RMK college also maybe having 3D printers. You can use your own institution 3D printer. If they are not having, you can use other incubation centers 3D printers at nominal service charges. Basically, you need to pay service charges for the consumables you use, but you no need to invest much amount on procuring a 3D printer. You can buy those filaments and you can start your prototyping. Basically, TBA will support you on the third stage, that is prototyping, and fourth stage is nothing but alpha and beta prototype. Alpha and beta means it's nothing but iterative prototype. Prototype version 1.0 will be achieved in 3. Prototype 2.0, 3.0 will be achieved in stage 4, which is also able to achieve through technology business incubators. And then you have to go for minimum viable product. So this minimum viable product is about a product which is before packaging. Apart from packaging, you have to ensure all the other things. You have to ensure the quality of the product. You have to ensure the quantity of the product. You have to ensure the texture, everything. You have to ensure all the technical aspects of your product in this MVP stage, which is the 5th stage. Apart from packaging, everything has to be ensured in this 5th stage, which is minimum viable product stage. 6th stage is field run. You have to distribute your products to your local customers and you have to get that feedback. This is nothing but field run, which is the 6th stage. And the 7th stage is pre-commercialization, which is also called as go-to-market stage. Initially, you will give free samples to your locality peoples, and in this go-to-market stage, you will distribute products with low profit margin. This is pre-commercialization, and also pre-revenue. So pre-revenue deals with small scale revenue generation, and of course here the profit margin will be lightly increased. In the 7th stage and 8th stage, profit margin is the major difference. In this 8th stage, you can get the market feedback and you can establish your sales strategy. And finally, 9th stage is launch and commercialization of your product, which is also called as graduation stage of technology business incubator. Starting from stage 3 to stage 10, technology business incubators will be able to give you support. And first 2 stages can be achieved with the support of your institution itself. Before approaching an angel investor or venture capitalist or any investor, even crowdfunding, you should be able to explain your own stage. That's why I put this chart, technology readiness level chart. Map your own stage before approaching an investor. So now we are coming to the core of the today's session, which is about angel investor and venture capitalist. First, let me start the session with angel investor. Actually, angel investor is a person or a company providing capital for a startup. So why these angel investors are providing capital for a startup? What is the advantage? Basically, they will provide capital for a startup subject to exchange for ownership equity or convertible debt. So this is the advantage of making investment in a company for angel investor. And banks are also doing the same, right? They are also providing capital for a startup. They are also providing capital for entrepreneurs. They are also providing capital for a business. All the business entrepreneurs and startups are getting funding from startups. So what is the difference between angel investor and banks? Let's see. Actually, angel investor will look after only into your ideas potential, but these banks will be much dependent on your collateral documents. For example, banks provides fund only to established business. That means business which is running about 5 years with good track record. So bank will only consider those business. For startups, they don't have any track record. That's why bank will not trust in investing in a startup. That's the major disadvantage. But you don't need to worry. Angel investor or that angel investor will invest on budding startups. Of course, early stage startups, that means startups in ideation stage, cannot approach an angel investor. You have to reach technology readiness level chart number 7th level before approaching an angel investor. So till that, you have to spend your early days in technology business incubators to reach that technology readiness level 7. If you are in technology readiness level 7 means these angel investor basically will hear to your ideas and they will make some investment decisions and they will finally fund on your venture expansion. But one thing is that, as I told you earlier, this angel investor will focus much on claiming equity in our startup. Actually, I would like to ask you one thing. Do you guys know the difference between equity and debt? Do you know what is equity? Okay, I will explain. Actually, debt is, I think you will be aware of debt. Debt is nothing but Kadan. Actually, bank will encourage to provide debt to all the business ventures. Basically, debt is to be repaid with a nominal interest rate or some interest rate. But these equity is nothing about that repayment. Actually, basically, investor will invest in your company. Instead of repayment, they will demand you to give some shares in your company. So all companies will have 100% share. If an angel investor is investing in a company, means based on the investment he is committing to that company, and also based on your company's level. If you are in technology readiness level 9, means you can get more percentage of your shares. But if you are in stage 7, means the investor will demand high. So that is the disadvantage. And these angel investor will demand you to give some equity rights, which means share percentage in your company. Out of that 100%, he will claim some shares. That shares may be around 50% also. Based on the amount he is investing, and also based on your technology readiness level, he will be committing investment to your startup. Here the amount is not needed to be repaid, but in case of bank, the debt is to be repaid with interest rate. In case of angel investor, you no need to repay, but you have to give some equity, that is revenue sharing. In monthly revenue, you have to give a percentage to your angel investor, as he has invested in your company in your early stage. This is the difference between angel investor and bank. Now you guys are clear on it? So if you are clear on it, only I can explain about the venture capitalist, because that is somewhat little different from these things. You are clear, right? Any doubts on it? Do you know what is equity now? And do you know what is debt now? Do you know the intention between bank, and do you know the intention between angel and investor?
Sir,
Okay.
excuse me, sir. Sir, here due to some internet issue, it got disconnected for 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes, can
Hello?
you please, now it's it audible, sir?
Yes. This. Sir, can you explain this slide once again, sir?
Okay, which slide? And the first slide was visible, right, sir? The angel investor.
No. From this, sir. From this.
And this one, technology readiness level chart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I will start with the angel investor. So I was explaining about angel investor, venture capitalists, and banks for fundraising. First, let me start with angel investor. Actually, angel investor is a person or a company providing capital for a startup. So why do they need to provide capital for a startup? What is the benefit behind providing capital to a startup? Basically, they provide capital to a startup subject to exchange of ownership equity or convertible debt. First, let me explain what is equity and what is debt. Basically, debt is nothing but it's a bank loan, actually provided by banks, most of the banks for businesses. You have to repay that debt amount or loan amount at the maturity stage with an interest rate also. But in case of equity, repayment is not needed. Instead, the angel investor will claim some equity rights in your company. Equity rights means shareholder rights. For all companies in India, we have 100% shares. And out of that 100% share, you have to give certain percentage of your shares to your angel investor. And as he is investing in your company. So before approaching this angel investor, you should be aware of your technology readiness level. And all the angel investor and venture capitalists will support you only on your technology readiness level 7. So before that, you cannot approach an angel investor. Till TRL 7, technology readiness level 7, you have to be dependent on your technology business incubator. Now let me explain the difference between angel investor and bank. Basically, bank provides funds for established business because they are much dependent on the collateral documents of the business owners. They will never care about the idea of business ideas about established business. They will only look after into the collateral documents of its owner. But these angel investors provide fund for budding startups in TRL level 7, as I told you earlier. They look only on the idea, not on any collateral documents. So you don't need to worry about your CIBIL score. You don't need to worry about your financial status. Even if you are in middle class and having a good idea, you can always raise funding for your own business, even in crores, with the support of angel investors and venture capitalists. But as I told you earlier, you have to reach technology readiness level 7. That's why I have started the session with technology readiness level. You can approach an incubation center and get it done. That's not a matter. So now you guys are clear on the difference between debt and equity and also angel investor and bank. If you guys are clear on it, I will explain about what is venture capitalists and what they are dealing with. Got it? Now it was audible, right? Shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Here is who are angel investors? Basically, these angel investors are high net worth individuals. These angel investors are basically retired. Actually, retirement is not the right word because entrepreneurs don't have any retirement. Basically, they are experienced entrepreneur with a motive to spend money in worthy things. Those worthy things are on investment in early stage startups. Basically, all the angel investors were entrepreneur. And here are some popular angel investors. All these angel investors were once entrepreneur, and now after earning a huge amount of money, they are ready to spend the money in capital investment for various startups. So you can also visit their website and many cohort. Cohort means actually a group of people with similar purpose. So many cohort will be organized by these angel investment companies. You can make a note of it. I will also share the slides after this session through your professors. You can refer these slides and you can visit their websites and subscribe to their updates so that you will get to know about their investment cohorts. You can participate in the investment cohorts if you're already in TRL 7, or else you have to build your product till TRL 7 and then you have to approach these angel investor. Please keep that in mind. And here are some websites. You no need to make a note of everything. I will definitely share these slides. Coming to venture capitalist. So venture capitalist is also a person or a company providing capital for a startup. They will also provide capital for a startup subject to exchange for ownership equity or convertible debt. So in my slide itself, you can note that the definition for venture capitalist and angel investor is almost similar. So here is the definition for venture capitalist. And here is the definition for angel investor. So both the definition are almost same. But there is a key difference between these venture capitalists and angel investor. Let's see what is it. Actually, angel investor will invest their own hard-earned money in the capital investment for startups. But these venture capitalists are nothing but they are intermediates. They don't have any own funds. Basically, they will connect private investors with startups who are deserve funding. In other words, they can also be called as broker. Basically, they are nothing but they are the intermediates. They know how to make investment decisions, but they will not be having any funds. So this is the key difference between angel investor and venture capitalist. Angel investor invest their own fund. Venture capitalist will invest pooled fund, which means they connect investors, private investors with startups who are in need. Here are some popular venture capitalists. As I told you earlier, you no need to make a note of all these venture capitalist websites. I will share the slides through your professors. You can refer to their company updates in Google. You can subscribe to their alerts and you can get it updates regularly. So the process of angel investment and venture capitalist is that from investor point of view, the rate of return in capital investment in a startup is very, very high. In case of investment in gold or in any land, if they invest the money in startup, a startup and the startup successfully kickstarts means definitely the rate of return will be very, very high. Basically, the angel investor and venture capitalist will look for 10x returns, which means 10 times returns. If they are investing 1 rupee means they will demand 10 rupees in return. So that's why many angel investors and venture capitalists are available in our country to support startups who are in TRL 7. So again and again, I'm repeating, early startup in ideation stage, you cannot get the support of angel investor and venture capitalists. You have to reach the TRL 7. Coming to the fund seeker, that is startup point of view, basically they can develop their own venture even if they don't have any CIBIL score, even if their financial background is poor. All the thing they need is an idea with an innovative and impactful potential. So that is the advantage of angel investment in case of fund seeker point of view. As I told you earlier, if you are in TRL 7, definitely you cannot get any angel investment and ventures. Below TRL 7, definitely you cannot get any angel investment or venture capitalist support privately. But through government agencies, you can generate funding. Many funding schemes are there. So I have categorized it as DIC loans, seed funds, government grants, fellowships, private investment, and CSR grants. If you are below TRL 7 and you need some money for prototyping or alpha prototyping, beta prototyping, minimum viable product building, and also product testing, you can approach these funding agencies in your early stage and get it done. Basically, there is many difference between all these six ecosystem enablers. DIC loans is nothing but district industry center loans. In all district, we have these district industry center under state government of Tamil Nadu. It is regulatory body of state government. So through these district industry center, you can basically get loan. From the name itself, you can identify that these money is to be repaid as it is a loan. And of course, you will get some subsidy. For example, there is a scheme called Pradhan Mantri Unemployed Employment Generation Program. Through that scheme, you can generate 5 lakh capital for your venture. In that 5 lakh, you have to repay 3.5 lakh with interest, and the remaining 1.5 lakh will be considered as a subsidy. So that subsidy amount is not needed to be repaid. That is the concept of district industry center. Next to that, we have seed funds. Seed funds is also known as soft loans. So the difference between loans and soft loans is that in soft loans, the interest rate will be very, very, very nominal. In case of conventional bank loans, you need to pay heavy interest rate. So some of the private banking sectors may even ask you 3% interest per annum. But in case of soft loans, you need to pay. Sorry, in case of private banks, they may ask you 3% per month. And in case of seed funds and soft loans, they will ask only 3% per annum. So that is the major difference between seed fund schemes and soft loan schemes and loans. Coming to government grants, this is a wonderful initiative by various government bodies. These government grants are basically grant in aid schemes, which means the amount you are getting from government is not needed to be repaid. That is the beauty of these government grants.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Government is providing this type of.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
The time college bell rang, and I think another maximum 5 minutes you can extend. So students, day scholar students,
almost I have completed.
They have to go by college bus.
Okay. Almost I have completed.
Okay.
This is the last part, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think I left in government grants. So in government grants, you no need to repay the amount you are receiving from government. Basically, you need to submit utilization certificate at the end of the day after utilizing your grant. That utilization certificate is nothing but the bills you need to submit for the expenditure you have made. And then fellowship. So many research fellowships are there, but government is also providing fellowship to the people who are interested to take startup as a career option. As you are in student stage, after graduation, if you wish to start your own business and choose this startup career, means many fellowship schemes are also there. So starting from 30,000 to 50,000, you can get fellowship from many government agencies. So nowadays, it's more than average engineer's salary. You can get around 30,000 to 50,000 for 1 year to 1.5 years as a fellowship, which is not needed to be repaid to the government back. And you can make your basic needs from those fellowship amount. If you are in middle class, you no need to worry about your family needs and your basic needs. You can manage those things from that huge fellowship amount, which is worth around 30,000 to 50,000. And they are providing you fellowship for 1 year to 1.5 year, which is a decent period. Within that period, you can reach TRL7, of course. And then after reaching TRL7, you can generate angel investment funding, and then you can manage your own business on your own. So fellowships is also a good option. And coming to private investment, so this private investment can be made through crowdfunding mode, and also through angel investors who are supporting, some angel investors who are supporting startups who are below TRL7. And finally, CSR grants. CSR grant is nothing but corporate social responsibility grants. Actually, many corporate companies has to provide 2% of their annual profit. Actually, annual profit, not annual revenue, 2% of their annual profit to sustainable and societal impactful businesses. So if you are working on social impact sector, you can get these corporate social responsibility grant. If you are in TRL7, you can directly approach angel investor or venture capitalist. If you are below TRL7, you have to approach these government funding agencies, and you can easily reach TRL7, and then you can approach angel investment and venture capitalist, which is about the today's session. So in my slide, I have given detailed guidelines and detailed eligibility criteria for all the schemes, starting from DIC schemes. Around 7 DIC schemes are there, and also government schemes around in my slide itself, you can note that around 10 plus government grant schemes are there. Here you can see about the eligibility criteria and how much amount you can get from this scheme, and from which ministry or which state government body you can get this scheme, who is funding this scheme, who is the beneficiary of this scheme, and in which technology readiness level you can get this scheme. So you can get all the details in these slides. I think I don't need to explain each things to you guys, because you can easily refer these details as it is a given to you in crisp format. These are all grant schemes. These are all the emerging schemes. These are all the fellowship schemes. In this Nidhi EAR program, you will get 30,000 fellowship for a period of 1 year. In SPARS scheme, you will get 50,000 per month for a period of 1.5 years. MAITI EAR 30,000 per year. India Alumni Innovation Network Fellowship around 50,000 per year. So these are all the fellowship schemes. Here are the angel investor websites finally, and here are the venture capitalist websites finally. Here are the CSR grants. So in the, you can note that Bajaj is providing CSR grant, ICICI Bank is providing CSR grant, HDFC Bank is providing CSR grant, Tata is providing CSR grant. So through these companies, you can get investment for your company. The CSR grant is also need to be repaid, not needed to be repaid. Always grants are not needed to be repaid. Soft loans and loans are needed to be repaid. Fellowship is also not needed to be repaid. So here is business model canvas. Actually, this is a template. This template has to be followed before raising fund from an investor or a government or private agency. So you can copy this template. I will share the slides to you through your professors. You have to represent your idea. For example, one girl shared an idea on one-line idea on educational purpose choice. If she goes directly to a government agency, means they will never care about her idea. She has to build her own business model canvas with these 9 slides. The 9 slides template is here. She can make use of it. Here is the formula for return on investment and break-even point analysis. Actually, for break-even point analysis, you will be aware of it. Break-even point is nothing but the stage in which you are getting your investment amount back, and benefit cost ratio is nothing but the projected value of ratio of projected value of benefits to the value of projected cost. So with this formula, you can calculate your benefit cost ratio on break-even point analysis. These two things has to be calculated before approaching a government agency or private agency for funding. Here is a model, business model. So it is a business model for a snacks industry. You can also refer this model for calculating benefit cost ratio or break-even point analysis. Here, the turnover, projected operation cost, projected monthly cost, all these are displayed. So you can take it as a template, you can take it as a model and build your own business model and projections. So this kind of business model and projection is definitely essential before approaching a government agency or private agency. So with this, I will end my session. So thanks to RMK management for giving me an opportunity to associate with your students for the second time. This is my contact details. You can make a note of it, and you are always welcome to approach me post this session. And now the session is open for discussion. You can share your queries, you can share your ideas, you can share your feedback, and also discuss anything related to today's session.
Yes, sir,
So
as the
thank you.
time is over because they have to leave shortly, they will interact
Okay.
with you through your contact details, sir.
Okay,
So we'll
ma'am.
share the contact
Okay.
details with the students.
Okay.
So
I
thank
will
you so
share
much
my
sir, for the
contact details.
interactive session, and thank
Okay,
you,
ma'am.
thank you for supporting us for all our IAC events. So
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
ma'am. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I will share the website link. I will share the upcoming programs registration link, and I will also share today's PowerPoint presentation so that the students can make use of the various funding schemes, and they can refer to Google for more details on these schemes. And they can also approach me post this session for sharing their ideas. So thank you all for patiently listening to today's
Thank you,
session.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Students, you can leave now. So next webinar or next lecture, I think you can come on